Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I was very fortunate about a week and a half ago. I was invited to come out to a local police department here in Central Texas to demo the new, it's really not out yet, the 2026 Police Road Glide. Good time. So stay tuned because I'm going to go over it. Some of the guys are going to talk about what they like, don't like, and I'm looking forward to seeing this and be able to get to ride it on duty. So stay tuned. We'll see you down the line.
2026 Police Road Glide. This is a motorcycle that's going to be available for order. Should be this month where you can order this motorcycle. There's a ton of stuff different with this. We'll start at the front. Front fender's different. No skirt on, it's a shortened fender. One of the good things about that, you know, you catch cones in there, you pick them up, then you bend your fender. Most guys take them off, guys and gals. So that's a good thing. Bigger front rotors, 20 millimeters bigger than the older ones. Brembo brake. I know it says Harley on it, but that's a Brembo brake. If you look up, if you look up, your front brake lever is adjustable. There's a little dial in here where you can adjust the distance off the hand grip. That is right here. If you notice, you go up the fairing. This is a new fairing. Headlight, turn signals. Try to turn this on and show you this. It's a turn signal you can see not only from the front but from the side. We got a headlight that acts as a wig-wag. There's 3 configurations, 3 ways you can set this up. This is done through digital tech. A lot of the things I'm referring to, digital tech, that's something your dealer will use to set this up. Whatever you want, this should all be included in the price. It's not like we're going to charge you extra to set this headlight up a certain way. Now, if you have to take this back, let's say 6 months later, you say, hey, I don't like how it is, I want a different configuration. There may be a charge for that. That would be up to your dealer. But everything I'm talking about today is included in the pricing here. So I've got the turn signal off. We're going to go into the lighting pods. This is the front lighting pods. I'm going to turn the front on. You can run the front independent of the rear, or you can run it all together. And with this motorcycle, you have a fast and slow flash pattern. The slow pattern is referred to blocking, the fast flash pattern referred to as the pursuit. So right now we're in blocking. Right now we're in pursuit. And I've got in the fast mode, you've got the white, blue, and red working together. If you didn't want the white, you could take it off. If you wanted blue and white, you could do that. Red and white, red and blue, that's stuff the dealer can set up through the digital tech. Now it's going to stay in that pattern, and that's going to go back to the blocking. If I wanted to change it so it stayed in that all the time, I would change it up here on the hand grip. And I know you're going to go over this and you're going to think, gosh, this is complicated, but I've been working with this bike about 2 months, and I feel like it's really came together pretty easy. So someone that's on the bike every day riding it, I think you're going to adapt to it pretty quick. I'm not going to call you over here just yet, but there's also a police screen that comes up, a dedicated police screen that shows you which lights are working. This is not a touch screen at this point, but it's just a reference. We're looking at getting that so it does work off a touch screen, so you can take it. I think so you can make the changes up here, but I think as you get used to these switches, it will probably be easier than you think to just do it with the switches. So right now we're in pursuit mode, fast flash pattern. To change it to slow, I could do this. Something I could even do with these lights, and this is something that may be done through digital tech. Let's say in my slow flash pattern. I wanted to make these lights solid so they didn't flash. I could do that and use that as a cruise mode or something so they're solid instead of flashing. So I can go back from solid to flashing if I set them up that way. I can also flip my flash to pass switch or my high beam here, and I can go back and forth between the two, slow, fast, and it tells me on my screen what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and turn these off for just a second. I've also got takedown modes where I can run these with or without the emergency lights on. If my emergency lights are on, I want to approach a vehicle. I hold this for 6 seconds. It goes into solid white. I can also do that with the lights off if I need to throw more lights up there. So now my pursuit lights are on. I hold it. Takedown comes up on the screen. It's in takedown mode. Okay, I'm going to turn all my lights on. Another option I have is I can go into escort mode. So if I hold this arrow button for 2 seconds, I go into escort mode. Now notice these lights are flashing a certain pattern. I can still cycle between fast and slow flash pattern, or I can toggle to go back and forth. Now you notice in escort mode I have no lights on in the rear. So if I got motorcycles stacked up, maybe it's night, maybe it's wet pavement, you don't have these lights flashing in the guy behind you's face. It automatically turns those off, but the side and the front still flash. Let's say I want to go one step farther and put this into parade mode. I'm out of escort mode. I'm going to hold this for 10 seconds and it's going to go into parade mode. Seems like forever when you're doing this. Okay, we're in parade mode. You see this little drum like a parade show up on there, so you know you're in parade mode. And that's basically solid white front. And I thought, hey, this would be cool if I could make these solid blue, but I can't do that because these in a solid mode are your takedowns. If you make them solid blue, you can do that, but then your takedowns are going to be solid blue. So this would be something where you wanted to put it in a blocking pattern, you could leave it here. You could change this color to solid blue or solid red, and again, you have no lights in the back. Your arrow stick function won't work in parade mode. So we're solid. We're going to go ahead and get that out of parade mode. We're going to hold this left pad button for 10 seconds. And you'll also see a stealth mode on your screen here. That's to shut your front headlight off. Those of you that didn't catch it, the front headlight is available for wig-wag option, where it'll wig-wag in pursuit mode. Like you got to have your side stand up. You can configure your siren where it goes off once you put the side stand down as well. So if you lay your bike over, it goes to a certain angle, or you put your side stand down, lean it over on there, it will turn your siren off. You can also change your siren pitch from the hand grip here, the tone. It's pretty loud here, so. If you want to make your way to the back, we'll go over the back lights here. And you can also see the police screen up here where it says blocking on the screen. Those of you can see it. This is a dedicated police screen. So it shows you which lights are on. I want to turn my front off. It shows the back's on. It shows I'm in blocking mode. That's the slow flash pattern. I can permanently go to the fast flash pattern and it'll show pursuit. Also, you'll notice your little telltale here. My rear's on, the rear's yellow, front's red. So if I want to do both of them, it's going to go back between red and yellow. And see how it's changing slow. If I go to a fast flash pattern from blocking to pursuit, it's going to go faster. So you can even see on there what pattern you're in. Okay, the arrow, the traffic indicator mode. It's going to show a directional to direct traffic. So I'm going right to left, and it tells me up here what my arrow stick's doing right here. You see it on the screen? It's lighting it up and it shows it's in the left. Hit it again, I go to right. Again, center out. And then a fourth push, it'll turn it off. I'm going to turn my lights off. I'm going to turn the power off now. This motorcycle, if you're looking at the tour pack, does not have an alternative battery back here. There's nothing in here other than 4 plugs. You can plug your laptop, your printer, your radar. You can control your radar power through your grip if you want to turn that off. So you've got a lot of space in here. There's not a plate, there's nothing underneath it. This alternator is putting out more amperage than the old one, and it's actually got a load shed program. Let's say your motorcycle's out here, you've had it on for a while without the motorcycle running, and you say, hey, my lights aren't working. It'll start shedding power to these things and then last the light. So if your lights go off, you know, hey, this battery's getting low, I need to start it, let it idle up, because then it'll charge the battery. It's gonna start shedding different things so it has the ability to still start the motorcycle. Okay, we're done with the lights. I'm gonna go back to the front of the motorcycle, go over the fairing, go over the windshield. Probably the only complaint we've had on this motorcycle, the major complaint's the windshield. You get a lot of air. Part of that reason is we've got a seat and it sets a little bit higher than the older seat, and it's got 2 other positions, so 3 positions. You can put this up 1 more notch or a 3rd notch. So you're getting a little more air because this seat sets off the frame quite a bit. If you have a half helmet and you get it out on the highway, you're probably going to get a considerable amount of air. I'm not the tallest guy. I don't have a problem with it, especially with a modular helmet or a full face helmet. I feel like it's easily acceptable. I've ridden this motorcycle probably 700-800 miles highway. I've rode cones with it. So I really feel like you're going to get some air on this motorcycle. If you want more of a windshield, that's an option you may want to look at. We're actually working on that and see if we can maybe come out with another option down the road. On your fairing, you have these vents on the side where you can direct, you can get more of the air off of you, you can direct this, the air hits it and it puts more air on the rider. Also, I didn't mention, in your infotainment center, you have an AM/FM stereo in here. You can go in here and you can listen to music. I'll turn that on real quick. Actually, probably better than the old touring speakers. You can actually hear this fairly well. If you want to come around here, Ryan, I'll show you. Anytime I touch these lines, it gives me my options right here. It takes enough for the motorcycle to get up and going. So this is my screen. I go to music, the badge, that's my police screen, or I can hold this center button for 3 seconds and always get to my police screen. So I can go to my listen to music. You don't want everyone hearing your music. You can Bluetooth your phone into this. Bluetooth your phone into this. You can listen to music from your phone. You can also go to a headset if you have one that's Bluetooth and hook up the motorcycle. Heated hand grips, the controls right here on the end. It's got a low, medium, and high setting, so you don't have that cap that pops off like the old ones. The handlebars easily adjustable with 4 bolts here, so if you want to push them higher, it's pretty simple to do that. One thing I want to point out on here before someone grabs them, these aren't like the old ones. You don't lift them. If you lift them, you'll break them. You push them down to open, push them down to close them. You've also got a USB-C where you can plug into that. You have Apple CarPlay that comes up on your screen. While I'm here, I want to point out this new gas cap. Lift it, go, nothing to take off. Kind of a nice addition. You don't have to worry about losing your gas cap. Since we're talking about the gas tank, this is a variable valve timing engine. In my experience, I've been getting 45 plus miles a gallon with this. Riding normal, fast and slow on the highway. Your other motorcycles, touring motorcycles, are probably getting 32, 34 at best. So I don't know if fuel economy makes a lot of difference to you, but it's going to extend the range you can ride this motorcycle so you don't have to fuel up as often. Or if you're out on the highway going somewhere, you're going to get more miles out of it. Okay, we've got better suspension, Brembo brakes. We've covered that. We've got our Siren here. This comes standard. Everything I'm talking about on this motorcycle today is built on the motorcycle at York, Pennsylvania. If you bid it, a dealer bids it, he's bid it just like we're talking about it here today. So we've got the 121 variable valve timing CVO engine for the police. This is standard. You've You've got the adjustable seat. We're back here. You've got all your police controls, adjustable brake. The clutch is still a cable clutch. It's not adjustable like the brake, but you can adjust it by making clutch adjustments to where that lever comes out on your grip. Some guys like it out, some guys like it in. I like it out, so it's probably going to be out here a ways compared to what some of you like it if it's all the way on the grip. Your saddlebags are redesigned. They're a little bit different. Saddlebag guards, we're hoping that's going to be an option in January. So where you can add those, because the saddlebag guard's different, it's not going to take the old ones. Back to the engine. This is what they call a center cooled engine. It's got a radiator down low. If you see this radiator, it actually runs water through the engine to cool this. So you don't have a big water jacket that's funneling that through there, so you're keeping this engine cooler than the previous offerings. Performance of the engine, 0 to 60, 4.5 seconds. 0 to 100, 12.6 seconds, I believe. The old offering, the 114s, 0 to 100 in 18-second range. So it's a big improvement. 24% more horsepower compared to the 114. Top speed, 120 miles per hour. Where the other one was around 110, 112. If you're in 5th gear and you take this thing to 120 miles per hour, it's going to hold it for 1 minute, then it's going to start slowing down. So you need to be in 6th gear to go 120 miles per hour sustained. I think when you come out and ride this motorcycle, you're going to find that in 4th gear, you're going to look down and you're like, wow, this thing's really moving. So in 4th gear, it's really going to, you can achieve 80, 90 miles per hour pretty easily in 4th gear. Amp, we got a new amp that we developed here a few months ago because had some issues with water on the old amp. So it's underneath the tour pack. High flow exhaust. This is exhaust off the CVO model. Ground clearance, you get an extra 1 degree of ground clearance. If you're riding this thing and you get it over far enough to feel these floorboards drag, you're going to think, wow, this thing is really leaned over. And that's one thing I've felt. I've been to some training. I feel like, okay, I'm not sure if I can make this turn in the cones, and I just let it fall a little farther and I feel like it turns great. I feel like the handlebars are effortless. There's nothing on them. No wires to break. Anyone that's had electric glides and Road Kings where you have those wires in the neck break and you got to get them fixed. You're not going to have that with the Road Glide. Another thing to turn this on, you'll have a fob. The fob's disabled on this one. So you just flip this switch on when the fob's in proximity and everything comes up. There's not a switch here to turn on or off like the old models. You do have a lock on the stem. You can lock it that way. We're going to start it up here.
Hey Brian. Hey, real quick, is it sitting a little bit taller? Does the lean angle change on it at all?
Yes, it is a tiny bit taller. You're going to find that.
One of the two.
And I don't know if a lot of that's due to the suspension. It's setting it up a little farther. So when you're in neutral, you can only rev this motorcycle up so far. It has a rev limiter like the Pan American. It only goes so far, but in 1st gear you can rev it farther. When you get to neutral, you're not going to be able to sit there and hit the rev limiter at the same level you would in gear. Okay, I want to go over the rear suspension. You've got your adjustment out here. The other one, you got to take the saddlebag. You can adjust it here, and you also have a dampening on the bottom of the shock where you can adjust that, how fast that suspension's rebounded, the dampening on it. One of the things I want to say, my first experience of riding this, I would probably say the one thing I noticed about this is the motorcycle brakes considerably better than the previous models. I feel like the power is unbelievable on the highway. I think this is something that's really going to pick up the speed. We're going from 0 to 100 in 18 seconds to 0 and 100 to 12.6 seconds. That's a big improvement. When you ride this motorcycle, you're welcome to take it out here, get it on the highway, see what you think about it, get it up to speed. You're welcome to, if you have some cones you want to throw down, do some stuff in here, you're welcome to do something. Another thing I thought when I was on the motorcycle, I felt like the handlebars actually turn farther. I don't know if they do or it's the width of the handlebar, but you get, okay, I should be stopped, and then you got a little more. That's one of the things I noticed. So,
does it have the custom driving modes, kind of like the 2025s?
Yes, sir. Glad you asked that. So I will turn this on if Ryan wants to come over here. It's got a highway mode, a rain mode, a sport mode, and a custom mode. So right now we're in highway mode. Sport mode with the S. Custom mode's A, and what I did in custom mode, I went and set the throttle response so it's the most responsive in that mode. So you're welcome to try that up. You just push left on the right turn signal. Then you have rain mode where it's scaling back your ABS, making it more sensitive for rain. Your traction control, cornering traction control, cornering ABS, and all the other rider enhancements that you have. You also have hill hold control, the same stuff you have on your others. Who in here has a current motorcycle from 2020 up and they say, hey, I'm going in ABS mode. I'm going into ABS mode in these cones. It's getting that ABS surge. Anyone ever had that? Well, I rode this motorcycle at Sturgis and I never got it to do that. I've never had it go in ABS mode. I rode it for 3 or 4 of our cone shows and I switched with Rob Grimsley. I went back to I had the Electra Glide and it was in ABS mode 3 or 4 times in 2 minutes of getting back on. So that's something the engineers have worked on, input by you, input that I've gave them, that I've heard from people in my area, and they've improved that. I can't believe how well it is. So one thing I did notice when I ramped up this custom mode A, I felt like I was getting a little hesitation in the cones right off the bottom. And if I go back to sport mode and then highway mode, I feel like it minimizes that. So that's telling me by really upping that throttle response, I think that's down low, it's kind of caused a little hesitation. So you can play with it. It's not something that you can't get around, you can't get by. I feel like you just got to keep a few more RPMs when you start your lean, when you take it to a hard lean. So if you have problems with it, I just flip it back to highway mode. I was playing with it last week at a training. I feel like that was the best one in the cones, the smoothest one. The highway or the sport, not the custom one. So when you go in there and you make your custom mode, you can also pick different parameters of how that works when you set that up, and each person can set that up to their own liking. You got to enable that.
Hey Brian, I know on the 24, the civilian models, you can change the gauge clusters. Do you have that option on here, or is it just set to that model?
You can set up and configure it. They have like a touring. There's 3 different ways you can set that, and I'll just flip this off. I'll show you how you can do that. Display, layout. So I've got cruise, you can see the different ones. I've got sport, and I've got touring. Because you've got navigation on this, so your navigation and touring, your navigation screen's a lot larger. Any other questions? Surely someone has some.
Where do you put the LiDAR?
That's something that Stalker or Custom's gonna have to work on.
Not the radar, the LiDAR.
The LiDAR?
Where's the LiDAR now?
Well,
yeah, that's gonna be a problem now.
That's the only thing that I'm looking at it, trying to figure out. Okay,
and I think you could probably mount it back here on your engine guard. I don't know, we've actually talked Stalker, one of the other reps did, about coming up with something.
That's gonna be the biggest thing. It's like one of those trying to figure out.
And I'm sure they're probably gonna come up with something.
Is this the only? Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
See, you've got some room here you could put stuff. Most of you probably grab right-handed, right? Your hands on the clutch. Mm-hmm. Or even if you had to go behind you and mount on here.
Is this the only touring pack that comes with it?
That's it.
And dimensions on the saddlebags, are they smaller, bigger than the?
They're bigger. They're a little fatter in the middle. If you notice, they're kind of a teardrop design when they come out.
Length the same?
Length should be the same.
Except for that cutoff, maybe.
They're cut down there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's kind of the style, like some of the baggers you see.
I'm thinking of getting a rifle in there.
Well, and I know we're working Black Rack. I think they've got one of our saddlebags to develop something.
Cool.
What's up, Brian?
Sorry I didn't answer your phone. I was
That's
in the middle
good.
of
We went to that gate and figured out we get.
Oh, okay. So this is what they call the Chop Tour Pack. Those of you who have a tour, this is a smaller version. If you look, there's quite a bit of space in here. There's no junk down here like on some of the older tour packs. And the reason we went with this was speed and stability. At top speed was supposed to be the most stable option. All right, if there's no more questions, I'll get my iPad, and anyone that has a card will get them signed up to start riding this. I've also got the Livewire here. I'll go over it. It's an electric motorcycle set up for police work. I know a lot of you are saying, hey, I'm not riding that thing. Well, let me tell you, that's probably one of the funnest motorcycles you'll ride. Do I think it's going to replace what you have now? I don't if you're using it, but I think it's a motorcycle that has some advantages over other motorcycles.
The power is amazing on this thing. The one thing I'm really missing is just the exhaust. That's just me owning many Harleys over the years. It's definitely quiet, but the power is great. As you saw there, I did a 45 mile per hour roll in third gear up to 80 fairly quick. It's definitely not, you're not wanting for power on this version. So far so good. I'm liking it. I'm in sport mode, but the regular road mode is, you know, just as good. So yeah, let's get back to it. What'd you think about it, man?
Just rode the 2026 Road Glide. Performs very, very well. They've done some really good upgrades. The only downside that I found while riding it is the windshield needs to be a little bit taller for us tall guys. Catch a lot of wind out there, but overall performance braking is way better than the older models. And man, I think they did a really, really good job on this thing. I can't wait to get one.
Do you think the screen being like so much stuff there was in any way like more of a distraction than what was on the old stuff with just the analog gauges and stuff? Or
not really. I like being able to have navigations, especially in Hays County. You know, all the new neighborhoods and roads and stuff that are coming in. It's nice to be able to have it, to be able to tell where you are. I didn't really feel distracted on it. I like to be able to see what I'm looking at. As far as what flash patterns I'm in and changing all the kind of stuff, the new handlebar controls and stuff like that are real nice, easy to navigate, easy to get through. I don't see any issues with it. Of course, it's going to take some time to get used to all the changes, but
sure.
It was a fun ride for sure.
As far as the height, could you tell that it felt like it was higher than the old one?
It felt like it set a little bit higher, but it was comfortable for me. Again, being tall or whatever, it doesn't really affect me that much. I'd like to get it into some slow patterns. Speed performance, it's there. That 121 is pretty nice. It's very throttle responsive. Being able to change your modes is nice, you know, for different weather conditions and stuff like that. So overall, very impressed with it.
Did you leave it in the sport mode? When I got off, I left it in sport mode. Did you change it, or you left it in sport mode?
I just left it in what it was in. I wasn't real sure how to change it over yet. So.
It's fun, man. I have it on my 24, and it's a monster.
Yeah.
I wish I would have put it in custom mode. He had it on, but I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again.
Good to see you.
Brembo brakes as well. It's got inverted forks. I actually took this to an off-road training with Fort Worth PD, and we had it going up steps. I mean, steep steps. Got a better ground clearance. It's got the dirt track tires, the flat track tires on it, so you can take this. You couldn't go through deep sand or mud, but you know, any park trails, stuff like that, grass, no problem. So you can go and you can change your flash patterns. We're actually working on another switch for this, so you don't have to take your hands off the hand grips. That should be done by the first of the year. A couple other fun features we put on this. You can actually induce engine braking to help you do trail brake into curves. It has a reverse mode with stop. You can push it backwards and it'll actually slowly back the motorcycle up for those of you that can't do a U-turn, maybe to get turned around. That's just something to move it around in a tight area. Yeah, on top it says mode.
Oh, there you go. There.
I didn't
A
see
is the
that.
fastest, B is the slowest.
I did the leaf and then that one. That one's much faster than the leaf.
Start with the leaf. Yeah, at least go to the leaf and then A. I'd say of all the bikes we have, that's the funnest one. Just.
All right, let's see how crazy this thing is. You mind talking about it on camera for a little bit? What you thought of it?
Oh, sure. Sure, Ryan.
So, so what do you think of it, man? Just overall thoughts?
Well, compared to what I ride every day, the Road Glide, it's much different. It's super responsive. Like you twist it a little bit and you're shooting off. So that's gonna take some getting used to. Handles really well. Almost feels like a sport bike. And it's just brakes are really responsive, throttle's really responsive. But you got to be careful because it'll catch you by surprise.
That gauge is kind of small on there. Do you feel like you had everything in that one little gauge that you would need on a daily basis, or?
It's hard to tell because I was really only looking at my speed. I mean, there wasn't really anything to look at as far RPM wise, because I guess it's irrelevant on my bike. But I didn't know if I was giving it too much throttle. I guess you can really only tell that based off of how fast you're going with it.
Sure.
For cone work, it'd be kind of hard to, how you get used to listening to your bike and knowing where you're at, like RPM wise. It's near impossible on that one.
Yeah.
You can't really do that.
So definitely not a rodeo bike, probably.
I wouldn't say it's a rodeo bike. No. It definitely has its applications, but I wouldn't. Not for rodeo.
What about comfort-wise? How do you think the seat felt was? Leg position?
Comfort-wise, I'm a little guy, and even I felt, I may not have looked like it, but even I felt too big for it. I could sit flat-footed, even though the seat looks pretty high, but I felt like I was hunched over 95% of the time.
Sure.
Except when I was at a stoplight or something. So that maybe optically it felt like I was too big for it, and I'm like 5'6".
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how a bigger guy would feel on it. It might feel
I
too
haven't
small.
got on it yet.
Yeah. It might feel like you're on like a moped maybe,
Sure.
but
Cool, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it, brother.
yeah, no problem.
So yeah, it was an amazing day. As you guys saw, it's always a good time riding motorcycles, especially when you don't own them and you can kind of ride them like you stole them, if you will. But I was very impressed with the new Road Glide. I didn't really know what to expect going in. Just hearing the rumors flying around that it was coming, and knowing it was going to be based off the new body style of the Road Glide. But I didn't know what the technology was going to be, and I was honestly really surprised about how they changed the tour pack on the back. That's a lot different now. How it's pretty much being built, the whole thing is being set up and being built there at corporate, and it's being shipped to the dealerships, and no longer have to buy a standard Electric Glide or a Road King and then have to have it go to your local dealer, have them wire up all the stuff. It's coming ready to go. So when you purchase one of these bikes, you're getting a bike that's designed and ready for police work. You know, other than throwing on a LiDAR or radar or whatever other special equipment you use that Harley doesn't offer. So I was really excited about that, to hear that upgrade. Obviously, acceleration is better. You're talking about my current motorcycle is a 2023 with a 114 stage 2 in it. And when I got that, I was like, this is amazing. This bike has a lot of power. It can't compare against that the new 2026. I mean, with that 121 VVT motor, that thing is a monster. No problems accelerating, even doing, if you're sitting in fourth gear, just putting down, you know, the highway or on the service road and you have to take off after a violator, there's no need to really drop that gear. The thing's got the torque to take off even in that fourth gear to go after that violator. So I was happy about that. The screen gives you more to look at. I thought at first it was going to be kind of distracting. Brian says that the touchscreen function doesn't work. What he was meaning in that is as far as selecting the lights, I believe, because if you own one of the 24 or newer or 23 and a half, if you have a CVO, road glides, street glides, the screen is touchscreen to select or like modes, or if you're in Apple CarPlay to select things. But I don't believe on the police package, like if you're trying to change your light patterns, all that kind of stuff, I don't think that's touchscreen. I think you'll have to use the selector switches. So that may take time to get through. A couple negatives on it. The windshield is horrible, I'm not gonna lie. Even with a full face helmet on, you're feeling it. But that's, you know, a simple fix. Hopefully Harley will come out with something in their P&A catalog that will offer better wind protection. But as always, you can always look out there at third-party vendors and get one of those very fancy flared windshields. I'm not going to mention any specific companies, but I have one on my Road Glide. Lights, you know, depending on the mission, I would say. Obviously, a lot of us aren't working at nighttime, working during the day. My agency is kind of, you know, pulled their motors back from interstate work. We're working mostly in town. Yeah, the lights leave a little something to be desired. I kind of wish that they've come up with a better way of adding more lights to it. You know, having that smaller chop pack on the back, you have less real estate to have lights attached to. I think it's going to be okay, typically for day-to-day operations, but I would hope that Harley will eventually upgrade their P&A catalog to offer a better or more lighting for the motorcycle. And it doesn't even seem like right now they have saddlebag crash guards along the sides, so that's something that, you know, concerns me. But again, you know, it's not even out yet. It's coming. The ones we test rode are pre-production motorcycles. They're not even out for agencies to purchase yet. That's coming, so hopefully they'll make those upgrades as time goes on. But at the end of the day, the power is there. The technology is there. All things that we've been asking for a long time from Harley-Davidson, and they're starting to listen and give us what we're asking for, and that's clearly obvious. So, you know, keep an ear out and see if there's one coming your way to demo. Otherwise, don't count them out. Don't count out Harley-Davidson yet. I'm definitely impressed with what they have, and I'm glad that Harley's realizing they need to step up their game to compete a little more closely with those other options out there. So the Livewire, a little bit different. I can see agencies that have a lot of you know, like football games, events, you know, concerts, stuff like that going on in their jurisdictions. It may be good to have to run around, get through the crowd a lot easier. But I don't think that'll ever fill the role as a primary unit for an agency. More of like a supplemental fleet, if you will, for special events, if you're fortunate enough to have that kind of budget. But it was fun, you know, definitely very, very fast. Downside about that Livewire was the battery. Again, I don't know how long Brian's had that bike for or how many cycles it's been through charging, but I took it on a brief 4-mile little loop and doing everything from just regular riding to high acceleration, kind of stimulating that, just putting down the road and you see a violator and you have to take off after him. But after that 4-mile loop, it drained the battery about 5% of its charge. It lowered it, so I don't know. That's I don't know. Wasn't too excited for that. But if you made it this far in the video, guys, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel, the video get out there more for other folks to see. And as always, stay safe, keep the shiny side up, and we'll see you down the line.